So this is the one about Bryan admitting that he got scammed by that Amy Poehler thing, right? So let's quickly play that. So just to give you a quick synopsis, Bryan Callen thought that he was having an interview with the legendary Amy Poehler, but then it came out to be that it wasn't actually an interview, it was a scam, like an elaborate scam to kind of get into his, you know, system and shit, get a hold of his details. I don't know, whatever done, but he legitimately thought he was going to interview with Amy Poehler, so he tells the story on TFATK, and Brendan laughs about it.
Joanna was laughing because I just went, I get it.
I don't know if I did I mention that Daddy got I was a victim of some crime. Did I tell you this?
Some boomer crime?
Well, I'm supposed to do Amy Poehler's podcast. I tell you about that? No. So I was supposed to do Amy Poehler's podcast
in LA.
Yeah, her assistant reached out and, you know, she was like, hey, we'd love to have you on Storytime with Amy.
Yeah, is a big podcast,
yeah,
right?
big podcast.
Yeah,
Amy Poehler, and I know it.
Now, when he says the story initially in the beginning, Brendan doesn't like raise a red flag. That's a bit weird. Why would she ask you of all people? Like, no offense or anything, but it's not like you're like a super relevant person, isn't it? Why would she get you on the show? So I find him laughing about this topic in the end a little bit insulting if I was Bryan Callen, because it's like, you didn't realize it was a scam. You also believe that I could be on the show. So they're just as delusional as each other. That's what I want to point out. They're just as delusional as each other. Brian's delusional for not even second guessing or even maybe having a slight bit of doubt. Why would Amy Poehler want me on the show? And Brendan's just as delusional because when Bryan brought it up first, he didn't go, oh, why would you be on that show? You know, he just immediately, yeah, that makes sense.
Amy from back in the
sure,
day. I love
sure
Amy.
You do. Know a lot of people that
I love Amy.
I've
known Amy for many years. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but I love her.
Been busy.
I've been busy.
She's been busy.
She's been busy being super successful. I've been busy.
She's busy counting money. You're busy
doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
I find it interesting though, just a small point. Brendan's always really quick he's always makes it a point to talk about how cancel culture ruined their pod, how Brian's light has been extinguished, how he's trying his best to get the kid back and get that kind of silly goosey energy back onto the show. He talks about how sometimes, you know, that famous clip of him being, it drives me nuts about how everyone treats him and stuff in comedy. But then really and truly, the person who kind of mocks him the most about, you know, his cancellation and stuff and the fact that his career went, you know, nosedived into the ground and hasn't recovered since is Brendan, isn't it? Brendan's the one that really always kind of brings it up. Like, yeah, you know, I can talk about it on here and other people, but the person like within his immediate circle that's always kind of teasing him, quote unquote, making fun of the, you know, pretty stressful, I'd imagine, pretty hurtful time in his life where he kind of thought he lost everything, is Brendan. Brendan's always making a point to make a joke out of it. I find that funny. Like, how are you going to complain about it happening, but you're always go out of your way to remind him, yeah, you've been busy, right? You know, like he's always making a point of like reminding him, like, hey, you cancelled. Interesting friend, interesting friend.
But it's cool because, you know, I know her and we've always had a great rapport.
Yeah, it's not though.
So her assistant reached out and so we talk. They give me a list of questions and all that. We go through it, and then I have to do you have to do because we're gonna actually. I found out it was going to be a Zoom first because she does it. So you'll have somebody comes on the internet and then talks about the person there, and I was like, it's a surprise. It was probably like a friend of mine. So I was like, okay, great. So they have to make sure that your camera is all, you know, and I was on my phone. They goes, well, we want to do it on a laptop. Maybe wants to do it on a laptop, not on the phone. I'm like, oh, okay. So I schedule that, and I get on.
By the way, that would have made me angry. Not gonna lie, little point. That would have made me angry. If it was real, if this was a real proposal, a real interview request, and Bryan was okay with going on the Amy Poehler show with just his iPhone, come on, brother, you gotta do better. You gotta do better. I don't know, call up Chin, tell him you'll pay his fucking rate, set up the cameras in the fucking studio, get the fucking done thing properly, and then you can kind of, you know, log into the fucking interview. Why would you want to do an interview on such a big platform to help promote your fucking special, content that's going to last for fucking ever, and then have it just run through your fucking phone with your shitty fucking Wi-Fi at home and stuff? Like, do it properly, go to a studio, like use the studio you use for fucking his fucking podcast, whatever it's called, Below the Limits, Over the Limits, Under the Limits, whatever it's called, Rape Limits. Like, use that instead. So again, like if this was true, imagine the lack of preparation, the laziness that's involved in this, where he just doesn't want to use his laptop. He doesn't want to go to a studio, doesn't want to go and call his producer for his own podcast, maybe record it for him, or maybe call Chin or something. No, let's just run it through my phone. He was gonna do the Amy Poehler show through his phone, sitting in his fucking white Tesla. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to, if it was real, he would have been okay with sitting in his bright white Tesla, screaming at her about fucking horses and fucking I don't know, cowboys and like saddles, and she's like, shut up, man.
Now I'm on, and now I got to do it through Facebook Live. You know, with you got to, and I don't know how to do any of that. So he's got me on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. And I'm doing this thing. And he's like, okay, do you see it? I'm like, I don't see anything. And he goes, let's screen share so I can help you with this. So now I'm screen sharing with the guy as he's trying to configure my Facebook thing so I can get to a point where I'm there. And then I'm 20 minutes in as I'm clicking everything. I'm like, you know, and he's going, okay, so this is really good, and just make.
This is actually a really good story. I'm not gonna lie. He actually tells it really well. It's quite funny because it's such a like, it's so pathetic, and it's so sad. It's so pathetic, and it just goes to speak to the hubris, the ego that some of these guys have. Because at the genesis of this story is this ridiculous proposition that Amy Poehler would want to have him on his show. That's the antithesis of this scam. It's like, why would you even believe that to be true? Like, why would you, like, have you ever heard of those interviews with an artist, right? And they're like, oh my God, and then Drake DM'd me, but I didn't believe it was him, so I just ignored the DM. And then he hit me up again, and then he liked my picture. You know what I mean? Like, people go through various stages of getting convinced that a celebrity contacts them, and these are proper big people. These are like people who are relevant, right? Bryan gets hit up by somebody who allegedly works with Amy Poehler, and he buys it straight away. He gets hooked on it straight away because he's so desperate for some sort of recognition. He thinks he's still famous, relevancy. He's like, brother, why would you think you would be on that show? Just go on the channel, check the channel, go on uploads, go on latest, and look through the list of people that have been on that show, and just think to yourself, like, why would you be on there? Even if it's, forget the rape allegations. Let's put the rape allegations to one side. Let's pretend we live in a world where rape allegations didn't even happen. Why would she have you on the show? That's what makes the story so funny, because Bryan definitely, genuinely believed he was going to be on that show. That's why this scam is so perfect, because it plays into people's need to be like acknowledged, need to be accepted, the outsized ego, you know. It's just insane. This scam is so fucking clever.
This, it's no problem. I'm going to help you. This one. Now click this. Yeah, that's great. All of a sudden I go, wait, so when are we doing
Corey Mace, Wagwan, Auto Mech, Wagwan.
the podcast? He goes, this Friday.
Big up 918 Productions as well.
We'll reach out to you. And I go,
Oh, this was just a test run.
I go, oh, this Friday. Okay. All right.
Yeah, see how Brendan still doesn't get it. Oh, this is just a test run. Brendan still doesn't understand what happened, by the way. Brendan's sitting there listening to everything Bryan Callen's saying, and he's still not picking up what he's putting down. He still didn't clock that this was a scam. It takes a while for him to realize, oh, this is a scam. Oh, this is just a test run. He would have got done too. I wish Bryan would have never shared this story. I wish Bryan would have maybe saved it, so Brendan could have got scammed too. You could have got flunked. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I want you to be, or whatever. I don't know what name show you could be on, maybe Dak Shepard or something. It would have been funny to see him get done up as well.
And he goes, yeah. I go, how are we going to do that? So is Amy, okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. He goes, yes. I said, where are you located? He goes, I'm in Los Angeles. I said, where in Los Angeles? He goes, you want my address? And I was like, no.
The area.
So I was like, okay. And I just, anyway, so we configured the thing, and I'm, okay, Friday.
It was a test run.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Rehearsal.
Yeah, and I'm waiting. My producer for my podcast, I did it after I was done with my podcast.
Yeah, big up.
Bother waiting to see if he found Hitler in the end.
Genuinely, he's on the edge of his seat. He's on the edge of his seat. Big up Asada Zeus.
And my producer calls me and goes, "Hey, did you do you know that Amy Poehler podcast? Do you know it's a scam?"
No, you got me all your shit.
Bubba,
all
he
your
goes,
shit.
they've been
got
scamming
hustled.
people. I was waiting to do the podcast and it never happened. And I'm like, hey, I'm waiting. Like, what do I do? I was all nervous.
Dude, I'm so grateful for you. I've always wanted to meet somebody who got scammed by those podcasts.
And
because there was a Fire and a Kid one, there's a Rogan one.
When I say I got scammed so hard, I gave them all my information.
Of course. In the middle of the story, Brendan finds a way to just like insert himself in it to make himself seem like a bigger person. Like, just let the guy tell the scam story. Oh, there's a Fire and the Kid one too. Is there, brother? Is there some scam artist going around pretending to book people for the Fire and the Kid show? Really? Come on, bro.
I had to call a cybersecurity expert, a dude who really knows his shit, who was like, oh yeah, and he saw what they did, and he goes, so the good news is, I think that these guys were just trying to get access to your followers so they can spam and do a lot of stuff, but they wanted access. They sell access.
Did you change all your passwords?
Dude, he went on the dark web. They have all my passwords. They have all my fucking everything.
You changed everything, right?
I changed everything. But I was like, I was like, how do they know that? He goes, hey, they sell all this stuff. You're just not, it's not like you're that important. It's like, but just know that you anything you have is available out there.
Well, especially if you do that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, they got, but I got, dude, I even.
Why is he arguing about it? He's very like, is that like a sign of somebody that's very dumb? He's very combative, even in things that he doesn't know about. Like, I always wondered if that's a sign of someone being dumb or if that's his way of trying to show that he's intelligent. He thinks that if you push back, if you always have an opinion on something, that it means that you have critical thinking skills or something. I don't know. So, but you can't do it if your pastor was like, what the fuck are you even talking about? You didn't even know what he was saying 10 minutes ago. You didn't even know where the story was going 5 minutes ago. And all of a sudden you have an opinion on something. Oh, no, it's because if the password is not, huh? Shut up and listen to the story, laugh along, add your little commentary and stuff and keep it moving. Like, now all of a sudden he's a cybersecurity expert. Like, what?
Texted Amy and I was like, I DM'd Amy. I was like, hey, I'm supposed to do your podcast. I'm waiting, but nothing's going on here.
Did she say anything?
No, I didn't even hear. She probably didn't even get my.
She had no clue.
She probably didn't get my. What do you mean? She probably. It's Instagram DMs. Everyone gets DMs. Everyone sees their DMs. If they didn't reply back to you, it's because they didn't want to reply back to you, brother. Could you imagine how embarrassing that is? The embarrassment doesn't stop. So that's the part of the story he doesn't include. By the way, he did include it in the end, but he didn't include it during in the actual sequence of events. He kind of included it at the end, but. The part of the story that he doesn't include there is the part that, oh yeah, he then hit up Amy Poehler probably a bunch of times like, hey, when am I doing the show? I'm here sitting, I'm waiting. Can you let me know? Send me the link. Oh, so embarrassing. This probably explains why he's been so depressed about his stand-up comedy. Obviously, because I get the feeling Bryan, for some reason, I don't know why this is the case. It shouldn't really be the case, but I get the feeling he's not very aware of the industry. I think it really took him by surprise, the poor reception, the low quote unquote viewership of his special, because I still think it's good viewers, because allegedly, I think last time I checked, I think his special was on like 100,000 views. If it sits around 150, that's decent. 150 or something after a week or however long it was out, that's a pretty decent return for Bryan Callen. Like, he's a nobody. Like, he really is a nobody. But I generally think he's so like, maybe it's because the way they make content. I don't know what it is, but I think they're both like this. They're very unaware of like the climate of things. It happened with Brendan Schaub as well when he put out Gringo Pappy. He was very surprised at like the reception and the fact that people were clowning it, even though it was 30 minutes. It's like, bro, you don't understand what's going on and how things have changed. So I think coupled it with the reception, Bryan Callen's special, and I think also coupled with maybe the bungled and fumbled, rollout. Like he didn't really do a really good rollout for the special. He went on Rogan, I get it, but it didn't really feel like he was promoting his special that well. He didn't really have any marketing assets for it. He hardly spoke about it on his Instagram. Like just a very all over the place, lackadaisical effort. So I think it really caught him off guard. But imagine on top of that like professionally, career-wise, you get reminded again of just how low you fall on the totem pole. Because I'm sure at one point, Bryan Callen and Amy Poehler were quite, I wouldn't say cool, but they were probably friendly, right? There's probably a time in Bryan Callen's career where if you bumped into Amy Poehler, they would have probably had a good 10-minute conversation, a good 15-minute conversation about the industry, about their families, about their, oh yeah, my brother, you know him, he does, they were probably cool. Then to get to a point where you're sending her a DM about a podcast appearance that obviously you got scammed, and she doesn't even like send heart, like emojis, or just, oh my god, that wasn't even me, I'm so sorry, this happens all the time to other people, hope you're doing good though. You don't even get like a little DM back. That's gonna remind you just how low you've fallen, so that probably explains why he's been so depressed. All these things happening at once.
Well, but it's been going on, and somebody else who's a comic, I can't remember her name, she got taken too.
Well, they probably knew your special came out.
Big up Big Booth. It's at 200,000. That's good, bro. Like, is that but how long has it been out though? Big up Big Booth. How long has it been out? Has it been out more than 2 weeks? Because I think the way that they judge specials, comedians on YouTube, is that they like to think of it as 7 days. So they all want to hit like, I guess, 500,000 or 1 million in 7 days. That's what Brendan did, isn't it? Brendan bought his views. Remember when Brendan paid for his views, he wanted to get 1 million views for the 7 days. So that's pretty sure that's what BGL said, right? Am I just ripping what BGL said? I think BGL's the one that said that. I think BGL said that comedians, their target is 7 days. So if they can hit 1 million views or 500,000 by 7, so yeah, 200,000 over a month. So I guess he might have got 100. I guess he might have got 50,000. Right, basically, if we judge it by the numbers there, he might have got 50,000 within the first 7 days. I don't think that's bad. I don't know about you guys. 50,000. If he's not paying for views, I don't think he is. I don't get the feeling, or I don't. It doesn't look like Bryan Callen pays for views. Because if he did, doing a shitty job at it. But I don't think that's bad, innit? 200,000 views for a month. Or maybe I'll set like 100,000, or was sorry, I don't know, 50,000, for the 7 days. Not too bad, isn't it? For a comedy special from Bryan Callen, 50,000-60,000, 7 days. Come on, man.
You're probably doing some PR.
Exactly.
So they timed it
but
up.
the way they did it was so good.
It's not.
Gave me like all the questions. Like, Amy can't wait to talk to you. They know somehow that I know her. They do their research. And it made sense. I was like, of course she'd have an assistant reach out to me. And
I don't think they knew that I don't think the scammers knew that Bryan Callen knew Amy Poehler. Who would have known that? I just think they played into his hubris. He's a comedian. He's somewhat famous. He's got a podcast. He would have just assumed, yes, Amy Poehler want me to have me on her show. He didn't even watch the show. He didn't even check the show out. Like, it's just, I don't know, these people, man. He didn't even watch the show, probably. He probably doesn't even watch the show. He's probably seen clips somewhere. He has no idea what the show looks like. He has no idea the flow of the show, nothing. He just accepted, yeah, of course they want me on the show. I'm Rogan's friend. And he was pleasantly surprised.
But so you were on your phone, he goes, I need you on a laptop, and he said, I need you on FaceTime? That was the red flag.
He needs me on my laptop, and he was trying to tell me how to do it. And
no, you fucking idiot. The red flag was the request in the first place, not the laptop. And that's nothing. The big red flag would have been the laptop, would have just been the show. The second red flag would have been the lack of Amy Poehler. I don't know about you guys. The first red flag, if I'm Bryan Callen, would be, why the fuck is this woman who's on top of the world right now, why would she want me on her show? It doesn't make any sense. The second fucking red flag would be, why isn't this woman who I know personally DMing me back, or like replying, or like even talking to me about this thing? Why am I not talking to her? Or check out the YouTube channel, watch a couple clips, and then see what a producer looks like. Maybe the producer's credits links and socials are in the fucking description. Click their profile on Instagram. Why isn't the producer of the show that's usually on camera talking to me via the DMs? Why am I talking to this random guy that doesn't have his screen on and shit, or doesn't have a camera on? That's what would have been a red flag. Not, oh, is he talking to you on the phone? Then he switched it to FaceTime. Then it was on email. Shut up, you idiot.
But
he said open up FaceTime?
And he goes, let's, do you want a screen share? He goes,
Boom.
would you like to screen share? Because I can help
That's
you.
a red flag.
And now he's got arrows pointing, and I'm clicking here, I'm clicking here.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Completely.
But
then it dawned on me, I went, he sounded Russian. I go, where are you from? He goes, I'm Israeli. And I was like, you're not Israeli, you're Russian, bro.
Yeah, you fucked up with accents.
And then I sent,
accent.
but I have it all recorded. So I sent it to my cybersecurity guys, and they go, oh, dude.
I sent it to my cybersecurity guys. Oh, man. You know, one of the best careers you could have is being a quote-unquote cybersecurity guy who works with like a small base of clients in LA somewhere. You know, these people who think they're way more important than what they are. They panic over the slightest thing, and you just charge them through the nose for the dumbest stuff. Setting up a simple network, setting up a printer, installing their fucking Wi-Fi. You just become the de facto guy that they all go to. You know, they can't fucking access their online banking because their Wi-Fi is down. They call you, you charge them. You know, they can't fucking access their email because they forgot their password. It's locked them out of their account. You charge them. It just must be such a good, cushy job, man. Such a cushy job.
He's Russian. Those are Russians. They got you.
Dude, Bubba.
Yeah.
Did he show his face, Brian, or not?
No, of course.
They got into my Meta Business Suite.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, dude, you got hustled.
I got hustled.
Damn.
And I was all bummed out.
My Meta Business Suite, because he pays for views, innit? He pays for fucking ads. Bryan Callen's running ads for the Instagram and all these fucking shows he's putting on. Could you imagine the amount of money he must spend on like Instagram ads and stuff? These guys. Brian more so because he's still trying to be a comedian. Could you imagine the amount of money Bryan Callen must spend for sponsored ad posts, boosting his posts on Instagram to get it more traction, so that he could sell out the fucking ha or chuckle fuckers or whatever fucking nonsense club he's performing at? Ugh. Brutal. $100 spend on a fucking post and you don't sell one ticket. Ooh.
Out too, I was like, oh, I got blown off, and it was like, no, you didn't get blown off.
Hey, you're never going on there, dude.
And you know, I'm really good at that.
Exactly. Big up Jack Doherty Jr. Brendan is so happy Brian got scammed. That's what I said in the beginning. If there's one person that's always gonna remind Brian that he's cancelled, it's Brendan. Brendan's the one person that always is gonna find a way to remind Brian that he's cancelled. To remind Brian that his career isn't where it once was, to remind Brian of how down low he is, where he maybe it's on purpose, maybe it's a kind of bully tactic as well, a weird intimidation thing, a weird demeaning thing to remind him of his level so he doesn't leave. You know, like, is it pimps? Do pimps do that, right? Where they kind of like physically abuse or mentally abuse their. Yeah, I'm sure it's pimps. They do that thing, innit? Where it's just, so you don't, because some pimps will do it in a way where they won't use violence. They'll just say things, demean you in a certain way, make you think less of yourself, so you don't ever leave them, and you always think you need them in there. You need them in your life in order to eat, in order to, you know, stay alive, have a roof over your head and shit. So maybe this is Brendan's very subtle, subconscious way of keeping Brian down by always reminding him of just how low he is, how low he is, how low he is. You got cancelled. You're never going on that show. You know?
Like I had a guy, this sophisticated operation, this Jamaican guy was like, you know, the way they did it was interesting because they were like, you know, you won money. And I was like, great. And they said, they had this whole thing and they said, where can we send this? You know, and I was like, oh, because they tied it to. You
fell for the money one?
No, they tied it to some like a subscription I had.
Yeah, I know.
And
dude.
showed me like how. And so I was like, no, I didn't. I fall for it. I was like, I looked at it and I was like, and they said, all we need is for you to pay the taxes on it, right? So I was like, oh, okay, perfect. How much? It was like $2,800. I go, $2,800, and how much do I get? They're like $42,000. I was like, where do I send the money? Where do I send the money? And I had this guy going all over Kingston,
circles.
Jamaica. On Western Union.
Damn,
and I made him chase it for 2 days. And finally I said, well, is it not there? He goes, no. He was getting so frustrated. I said, okay, I've been sending it to Kongston. And he goes, Kongston?
You wasted both your guy's time though.
I
But
can you check?
He's lying, by the way. This is a complete lie. He's just, when you share a story that's kind of embarrassing, but you want to share it because it's your friend, but then your friend goes out of their way to laugh and mock you. And then sometimes because the story is so embarrassing and you now feel extra embarrassed because your friend is now mocking and laughing at you, you then make up a story to make yourself feel good. Oh yeah, and then I just beat them all up. Oh yeah, you make up a story to try and make yourself feel good. So I think if Brendan wasn't that much of a dick about it and didn't take a lot of pleasure in hearing that Bryan got scammed the way he got scammed, he wouldn't have said this. But because he's been made to feel like an idiot, he's been reminded of just how low he's fallen. He's been reminded of like how dumb he might have been or boomery he might have been, whatever, right? By his co-host and supposed best friend. He's now going out of his way to try and make up a fake story about him making someone in Jamaica run from coast to coast, obviously he didn't do that because somebody that's that smart would not have fallen for the previous scam, so yeah.
Your butt for it, and he got so.
I guess you taught him a lesson. But with the cybersecurity, they look into the like personal stuff, pictures, and all that stuff for you.
Yeah, what he heard what the guy was saying. He saw it all, and he knows about this stuff. And he said, in your case, they didn't get into any banking stuff or money. I would have been like, what? So what they were trying to do, was got access to my page, my Meta Business Suite. So they could technically.
And they didn't do anything?
No, so Facebook is really good about that stuff. Facebook, and they shut everything down. They'll just shut it down.
They didn't do anything. Okay, sure, brother, sure. They went to all that effort to get into your system to make up this fake fucking Amy Poehler thing just so they can what? Do some sponsored on Instagram. Okay, whatever you mean, whatever you say, bro. Big up PP Yummy. AZ pulled a Callen and forgot to tell us that he was going on a 2-week cruise with his family, but it's raining. Glad to see you back, bro. No. We're back now. We're back. We're streaming every day until the end of the week. We're streaming every day until the end of the week as well. So you'll see me on here posting up clips as well. Timestamps going out right after the show. All that good shit. We're back on it like crack. But I was really ill. I was really fucking ill. Man flu got me. So if you're out there and you're a man, make sure you wrap up, make sure you protect yourself, take all your fucking vitamins, drink your fucking ginger shots, get your fucking, get all your system in check and whatnot, and make sure when you step out of the crib, you're wrapped up warm, because this flu is not joking around. This flu nearly took me out. I know man flu is real, and I know men can sometimes exaggerate the pain, but trust me, I was squealing. I was crying. I was screeching at the top of my voice. I was really fucking in a lot of pain. That's why I wasn't around. But we're back now. We're back.
Out when they see some irregular activity.
Well, especially if someone logs in from fucking
they're like,
Russia. I would hope that's a red flag.
They shut you down right away.
Yeah, because Facebook, then
that's why they had that authentication and all that stuff. The problem is what they can do is sell access to your Facebook page, and then you can use that to post advertisements, spam people and all that.
Ain't that a bitch?
Oh, it was so good. And it didn't dawn on me until 20 minutes in. I was like, where are you from? And I was like, this doesn't feel right.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it was
That'd been a good podcast to do.
What's that?
I said that'd been a good podcast to do. Son of a bitch.
When did you start taking action? As far as when you found out?
Like the next day.
Oh, you waited a day.
I waited 2 days.
Oh, they definitely have. Okay, well,
yeah.
Just when you want to feel bad for a minute, I waited. It's just like, just kind of like, just as you're about to feel bad for the guy, I waited 2 days. Like, okay, man, okay.
But by that time, it's too late. It doesn't matter if it's a day or 2 days. At that point, they've got everything on. They've already sold it to a third party broker.
But it doesn't matter, right? Because they can't get back in.
No, it doesn't matter. You ever?
Yo, big up big booth. I don't get sick like that, but I used to back in the day, so I feel you. Yeah, that's the thing. Me too. I must say, I will not blame it directly on COVID vaccine, but I will blame it on the fact that I'm indoors more since COVID. I think that's the reason as well. And I wonder if a lot of people that don't work in offices are the same. Most office jobs that I've had lately have been working from home. I'm sure some of you guys have been the same. I think there's a correlation between a lot of workplaces now requiring you not to work in an office and working from home most of the time, or maybe come into the office like once a month and shit. I think those people, on average, if you ask them, I think they may get ill more. They may get ill more. Because I think when you're in the office, or like, especially if you're commuting, especially in London, man, like the Central Line, big up people that know about the Central Line, the Jubilee Line, the Northern Line, the Overground Line. They're so busy during the fucking commuting hours between like 7 to 9 a.m. So packed. You're on top of each other, armpit to armpit, mouth to mouth, taking everyone's germs in, going to work, sharing a fucking canteen room, lunch room, outdoors, going to the pub after. Do you know what I mean? Like your immune system is rock solid. You don't really get ill. Like there'll be times I'll be in the office back in the day, there'll be somebody sick on the same floor as you, coughing, sneezing a bunch. You don't get it. You don't get jack shit. But I think ever since I've been working from home, and I hate getting sick. I hate being out of my ass. I hate not being active. I hate not being able to be productive or just not be in control of my day. I fucking despise, you know, some people enjoy being sick, like they put their feet up and they can take some time off. I fucking hate it. So it's really annoys me when it happens. But I feel like it's happening lately now, and I feel like it's mostly because I don't go out as often, like socially anyway, with people, and I'm also not forced to go out a lot for my work because most of it is from working from home. So I don't really expose people's germs, if that makes any sense. Because I feel like if you're exposed to more people's germs, your immune system builds up. You know, it's almost like I'd imagine people that live in India, you know, the ones that we see on those street food videos. A lot of those guys and girls don't get food poisoning, you know. I think that comes from, you know, being exposed to that level of hygiene, that level of whatever, those amount of people. Your immune system is rock solid. I bet you if you lived in India for a year, yeah, you'd get ill for the first 6 months, maybe 4. But after that, your immune system would be rock solid. I mean, rock solid. I'd imagine so. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Big up Diana. Diana Dahlia B. He's so lazy. Yep. Big up Mr. Mace. Lack of sleep. Yeah, that could also be the case. I've also not been sleeping the most the last few months, to be fair. That could be the case. I've been averaging about 4 to 6 hours every night. Not that great. So yeah. You're right. But yeah, let's continue. Big up Cloud for that reminder of that one though. Big up Cloud.